Don't try this at home. Whoa!
Well, there's your problem.
In this special series of Mythbusters,
It's almost too exciting.
the Dream Team tackles their dream themes.
It's scientific!
Testing myths about everything from electricity to pressure and gravity.
This one hurt a bit.
Shaking down the science of shockwaves, velocity, and ballistics. With crazy chemistry,
Oh my goodness.
far-out physics,
Fun for the whole family.
and insane explosions.
Is everybody okay?
Life's burning questions answered. On Mythbusters, there's your problem. On this episode,
Surf's up, dude.
the Mythbusters blast off to the outer reaches of rocket science.
I'm gonna use poop.
Then they train their sights
Pretty sure I curved that one.
on myths about guns and ballistics.
Pretty much it. That's just wrong.
First up, the countdown is on to a steamy blast-off.
We have a plumbing myth. Picture an old house, and in that house is an old hot water heater. The hot water heater is neglected so badly that it blows up like a rocket shooting up through the roof of the house.
Gets me all steamed up just thinking about it.
The humble water heater is an often overlooked and poorly maintained appliance. According to the myth, a neglected old boiler can overheat and build up so much pressure that it becomes a rocket capable of launching right through the roof and high into the sky. To find out how good water heaters go bad, Jamie and Adam head out to the wide open spaces of Alameda Naval Base.
So the very first thing we're going to do is make this bunker into a safe haven for all the people on the crew to be able to monitor the blast. And the second thing we're going to do is make a blast for all the people to monitor.
In other words, they're gonna blow stuff up for science, but without explosives. Just water plus heat and pressure. First, they need to make this new 30-gallon water heater mimic an old and poorly maintained one by disabling its fail-safe devices.
The electronic cutoff switches and thermostats, gone. The temperature and pressure valve, gone.
But this myth requires actual liftoff. So will the heater go up or just blow up?
Now, the difference between a rocket and a bomb releases all of its energy in every direction at once, and a rocket releases all of its energy over a little bit longer period of time in one single direction. And that's what we're looking for here.
The water heater is turned on and the team retreats to the safety of the bunker, from where they'll monitor temperature and pressure.
Okay, now we're at 160 PSI. It's officially a no-go zone.
With the safety features, the heater would automatically cut off at 140 degrees Fahrenheit and 150 PSI. Without them,
The suspense is killing me.
well, we're about to find out. Liftoff.
Wow!
That was at about 350 PSI.
The water heater launches so high into the air, you could almost run a bath before it comes back down.
Wow, no, it just came down. There it is. It came down like 40 seconds later.
This was a really serious explosion. I mean, even though this is just a water heater, you would be in danger of shrapnel hitting you. You could get severe burns from the steam. And not only that, the shock wave was really significant. I mean, the whole area was reverberating.
Dangers aside, it's a thing of rare beauty.
Oh, that's one of my favorite booms we've ever done.
As 30 gallons of highly pressurized, superheated water turns to 30,000 gallons of steam in an instant.
Wow.
The boosters were separated.
Yeah, exactly.
But the pressure's still on. before they can really blow the lid off this myth, it literally has to go through the roof.
Do we have a house?
Now we got to build one. You ready?
Damn.
For the grand finale,
Bada bing, bada boom.
the guys are going with a family-sized 50-gallon water heater. Safety features removed. The house is modest. Just one bathroom with water heater.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mythbusters Clubhouse.
But the all-important roof is made to Californian building standards. So it'll be no pushover. Color scheme, optional. Right, let's get this sucker started. They turn on the heater, hunker down, and wait.
Okay, everybody, we're at 300 PSI. That's twice the tank rating. Keep your eyes peeled, because it'll go any minute now.
As the pressure inside the tank mounts, so does Jamie and Adam's heart rate.
315 PSI.
Oh, this is killing me.
320.
This kind of stress on a regular basis can't be good for you.
No, it's shortening our lifespan.
We're going to make it to 350.
And
Oh!
so long, roof. The water heater flies so high, you could check yourself into a hotel before it returns to Earth.
Look at the house.
What house? I don't see a house. I don't know what you're going to be talking about.
NASA, eat your heart out.
Oh,
I gotta say, it's more interesting than an actual explosive explosion, because the steam is just erupting everywhere and completely disintegrating. It's different. It's more elegant.
No black powder, no rocket fuel, just superheated water and pressure. So the moral of the myth is, don't take your water heater for granted, or there may not be a happy ending. Rockets and danger go hand in hand, but this next myth is asking for trouble.
A California surfer moves to the Midwest and gets a little frustrated.
Oh, let me guess. No waves, dude.
Exactly. But instead of getting bummed out, he decides to make a rocket-powered surfboard.
The story goes that a souped-up surfboard gave its rider a 20-mile-per-hour ride for 30 nail-biting seconds. So will this rad myth catch a break or simply wipe out?
You guys ready to rock it?
Yeah, Mythbusters style.
This is our rocket surfboard. Just like in the myth, one big rocket.
Surf's up, dude.
This could get choppy, so Buster will be our bodacious board rider.
Ouchie.
That's right, it's built for comfort.
Behind him, he's rocking a powerful Cesaroni K-Rocket, readily available in any reputable hobby store. A guide rail will keep the board stable for the first 20 feet. After that, the dummy's surfing solo.
All right, we're good. This is Rocket Surfer with one big rocket. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
That looked a little dangerous.
That is a lot of thrust. Dude, that was a crazy flip.
Houston, we have 3 main problems. There's way too much initial thrust for any rider to handle. The board is unstable. And the ride was nowhere near the myth's 30 seconds.
Don't die on me.
Time for Plan B.
Now, it's obvious the single rocket is just too powerful and is not long enough to get the ride that we need. So we're gonna have to come up with a multiple rocket system. This is gonna be tricky. But I'll tell you what, if it's safe, I'm gonna ask the producers if I can go for a ride.
Here's a disturbing glimpse into Tori's mind. But he's nothing if not game. If the Italian stallion is going to ride the rocket board,
What could possibly go wrong?
they first need to find out the maximum thrust he can handle at launch without falling over.
Whoa.
Tori, acceleration at 60% capacity in 3, 2, 1.
And there's the sweet spot.
So this right here is the information from the data logger. You can see here the peak is at 0.8 Gs. So what this means is that none of our rocket tests should exceed 0.8 Gs. That way, we know that he'll be able to hang on.
To limit the Gs, the plan is to use several banks of model rockets at a series of ignitions. And with the board ready for testing, it's off to Treasure Island.
Why does this thing weigh so much?
Because you're a fat guy.
Tori plus board weighs 180 pounds, and each model rocket gives 2 pounds of thrust. So a bank of 20 should get them to the required 20 miles per hour.
All right, the rockets are wired.
But will it pack a thrust below that critical 0.8 Gs?
All right, this is acceleration test for Rocket Surfer. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1, firing. Awesome! Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
Sure was. A controlled acceleration with a peak velocity close to 20 miles per hour and at 0.6 Gs, just inside their G-force envelope. Now for stage 2, a second bank of rockets with a timed fuse to hopefully prolong the ride.
All right, here we go. This is 2-stage rocket on the surfboard. In 3, 2, 1, firing.
That's the sound of happy rocket scientists. Stage 1 fired and produced a gentle rideable start. Then stage 2 kicked in to extend the ride, just as they hoped.
Now we just need to add more stages to get that 30-second ride. How much fun is it gonna be when I ride it?
Back at the lake, surf's up, and there's a belated Belleci reality check.
I'm a little nervous. What if this thing blows up?
Since Buster's maiden voyage, they've added more surface area, a keel for greater stability,
Keel weight is installed.
and 200 rockets. Time to go off in banks of 30. Now for the final ingredient, a surfing superhero.
All right, I'm ready for danger. What could possibly go wrong?
All right, buddy, are you ready to make history?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see you out there. We'll be crossing our fingers for you.
All right, see you guys on the other side of the lake. Now, I'm a little concerned. There's a lot of safety issues involved. I mean, the whole bank could explode, the whole board could set on fire and burn me. Okay.
Tori's done some crazy things on Mythbusters, but this could take the biscuit. Oh well, too late to pull out now.
Ride the rocket!
In 3, 2, 1, ignition. We have liftoff.
You okay?
That was one incredible ride. The acceleration was insane.
Tori showed he truly has the right stuff, and that you can surf without waves if you have 200 model rockets handy.
That was awesome! That was insane! You did it! It literally happened so quick. It was like I was trying to get my balance, and I hit the switch, and before I knew it, I was in the middle of the lake. It was crazy.
Crazy, but this is Mythbusters. And Tori didn't reach 20 miles per hour, nor did he last 30 seconds. So while it's a wild and heroic ride, it's Mythbusters. Adam and Jamie have already proved that steam can power a rocket. Or at least make a water heater behave like one. And that's got them wondering, what?
Yep.
About what else you could turn into rocket fuel.
What do you got?
An awesome fan favorite myth about non-standard rocket fuels.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that it's gummy bears?
It is, Sherlock. You're absolutely right.
They're going to try and launch a hybrid rocket, which works like this. Liquid oxygen is sprayed through a hole in solid polymer fuel grain, which ignites, forcing hot gas out of the nozzle, causing liftoff. Simple, but how do you make fuel grain from gummy bears?
These guys are mostly gelatin, which is mostly water. The last time I checked, water doesn't burn very well.
So they'll boil off the H2O from a batch of bears and see what's left.
The trick is to get the candy between 300 and 310 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a superheated syrup. If it got on you, third-degree burns. 305, excellent. Ah! I'm good, I'm totally good.
Explosion number 1, before there's even a rocket in sight.
Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna cool this down because I've got a compressed gas cylinder over there.
Take 2.
All right, welcome back to How to Ruin Kitchen Equipment. Now I'm about to heat up a bunch more candy using this big non-glass container.
This time, things go disappointingly smoothly. And with all the water released,
Okay, tell me what to do.
Just hold on to that while I pour.
all that's left is to pour it into a rocket fuel mold. Here's one Jamie made earlier.
Jamie, I think this might be the worst mess I've ever made in your shop.
I don't know.
You'd have to think about it.
I'd have to think about that. So, there's an engine.
So, armed with a hard candy gummy bear rocket engine, Adam and Jamie hit the desert for a date with destiny.
This is it.
The middle of nowhere.
Welcome to Mythbusters Mojave HQ, where it's straight down to business.
So the gummy bear fuel grain is going into its housing. There are a lot of fiddly bits that all have to work perfectly in concert. This is the one right here.
Some final adjustments, a mandatory strip of duct tape, and the countdown to gummy bear glory can begin.
System is armed. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Oh. Oh, hey! Come on, baby!
I saw light coming out of it, so
Yeah,
it's burning.
I see fire signals on it.
go.
Come on! Go! Oh. A duck.
Dead duck, more like. The gummy bear rocket is a total dud.
What is wrong?
But total failure does not compute, and Jamie smells a hardware rat.
I'm suspicious as to whether it's the fuel's fault or is it the general rocket system that is at fault here.
There's only one fun way to find out. Fire off a test rocket armed with conventional rocket fuel. This should launch to at least 20,000 feet.
Anything less than that, and we're gonna have some problems to solve. Here we go, launching in 3, 2, 1.
It's a liftoff.
Oh,
Swiftly followed by a letdown.
that doesn't look like it went higher than about 600 or 700 feet.
It should have gone 30 times higher. Jamie was right. The rocket failed, not necessarily the gummy bear fuel. So it's back to base for a second bite at the cherry. But this time, they're tossing out the flighty hybrid rocket.
Instead, we're going to use a solid rocket motor like this.
A solid motor is a carefully prepared mixture of fuel, oxidizer, and binder.
Now, it's nice and simple because, in theory, all you do is light it and off it goes.
But only licensed specialists can make them. So Adam is supplying the raw materials, gummy bears. This time, turned into a fine, dry powder.
Dude, look at that. That's exactly what our Rocketeers want. Time to make a whole bunch more.
While Adam ramps up production, Jamie's making a separate bid for NASA glory.
Oh, man, that's nasty. I'm gonna use poop.
In space travel, every gram of payload costs dear. So astronauts already drink their own urine. Could they recycle their poop into rocket fuel? Jamie's using sun-dried dog poop.
Already giving me nightmares.
Like astronaut poop, it's a hydrocarbon, which burns well in the presence of oxygen. So this experiment isn't as mad as it sounds.
Yep, that's pretty well ground up.
With poop and gummy bear powders packed off to the specialists, it's soon time for the second showdown in the desert.
Round 2.
Never in the history of aerospace research have a pair of solid rocket motors like these been put to the test. But first, because this is serious science, a control rocket,
Big rocket coming through.
with conventional solid rocket motor will face the firing squad.
There we go. She's up. Mythbusters solid rocket motor control in 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
I knew we'd see a rocket fire eventually. That was cool.
Yeah.
The control rocket reaches an altitude of 4,491 feet. Gummy bears? That's your benchmark. In appropriately dramatic slow motion, the rocket takes its place for a shot at history.
Let's gummy the sky open.
Gummy bear rocket in 3, 2, 1.
There it goes. We have ignition.
Went way up there.
It did. Gummy bears worked.
Yep, they did.
Give me some right there. Boom.
So when you decode the altimeter, it says that our gummy bear rocket got up to 3,691 feet. That's pretty respectable.
It's an awesome result. But at 82% efficiency compared to standard rocket fuel, gummy bears aren't likely to make it to the NASA launch pad. Which just leaves the final rocket fuel frontier, dog poop.
All right, this is it. Poop rocket, the final launch in 3, 2, 1. Oh, there it goes. Whoa! That's beautiful.
Never before has dog poop shot out of a rear end so spectacularly.
Jamie, that was really respectable.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Dog Poop 1 reached an impressive 2,900 feet.
Who knew?
Elon Musk may not put his foot on this tech right away, but Pooh may have a brighter future in space. Back on terra firma,
Firing. We got a gun that'll shoot whatever you want.
it's time to take aim at 3 gunslinging myths. First up,
The gun that shoots its owner.
it's a comic book classic.
It's kind of handy.
I'm thinking bent barrel.
You're going to have to give me a little more to go on than that.
Okay. Seen it in a million cartoons. One character grabs the gun of another character and bends it, hoping to neutralize the weapon, but it still fires.
So what's the plan?
Plan, I think, is pretty elaborate, so see if you can follow along. I think what we should do is get a gun with the barrel, remove the barrel, and wait for it. We bend it.
Genius.
To test out this crazy cartoon concept, they shoot straight to the Yolo County bomb range.
Awesome.
But before the barrel bending begins, they need to find out
And 3,
how far the unmodified rifle
2,
will fire a bullet
1.
into a block of ballistics gel.
There you go.
That was neat and pretty. Let's go check it out.
Okay.
So, what's their ballistics benchmark?
This is funny. It actually went all the way through it, hit our bullet-resistant glass, and bounced back in the ballistics gel about 1.5 inches. It went doink, doink.
The bullet traveled at 1,216 feet per second. Time for some barrel bending.
So to bend our barrels, we figure we're going to heat it up first to make it more malleable. That means getting it like red or cherry red hot. And to do that, we've got a sword forge, which for some reason Adam just happened to have.
Let's fire it up.
Okay.
It's an extremely hot oven in the thousands of degrees for manipulating metal for making swords. In a few minutes, we should have some delicious gun barrel to eat. And it's perfect for our purposes. It's getting there. It's powered by 5 gas jets of propane. Once that gets cherry red, we'll pull it out and bend it to the angle that we need.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's moving. Look at that. All right.
And with the hot barrel bent to 45 degrees,
Excellent. Let's let it cool.
the comical-looking gun is soon ready for its first test.
It just kind of feels funny, don't it?
It feels funny.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to take it to a holdup, but will it fire?
There we go.
All right. 45-degree bent barrel in 3, 2, 1, go. It fired.
Oh, look at that.
It went all the way through. Went all the way through, bounced off the bulletproof glass, and look, landed on top of our ballistics gel. That is awesome. Well, the numbers are in. Our first control bullet, fired from the straight barrel, shot out of the barrel at 1,216 feet per second. Our second bullet, fired out of this, the 45-degree angled barrel, 1,131 feet per second. 45 degrees, still lethal.
Let's bend it some more.
This time they're taking it right up to a right angle.
This gun, bent at a 90-degree angle, this is where the rubber meets the road.
That's just wrong.
This is potentially a gun that shoots around corners.
So what's the prediction?
Oh, Jamie, this is perfect.
Is this barrel about as bent as ballistics will allow? Jamie thinks so.
This 90-degree barrel is the maximum point that I think that the bullet is probably going to come out of.
Loading the gun. Shooting bullets around corners in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, it hit the ballistics gel and the box jumped.
The bullet didn't just leave the barrel, it did so with surprising speed.
Look at that.
That's still a significant hit.
It is a significant hit. It's slightly less than the middle one, but it went all the way through the ballistics gel. That puppy's lethal.
On that note, we'll be right back after a short message from our sponsors.
Come on down to Jamie's House of Bent Barrels. We got a gun that'll shoot whatever you want. Duck hunting, fishing, heck, it'll shoot things you can't even see. Only $19.95, curved ammo not included.
There's only one way to go from here, and that's over the top.
135 degrees. That's a serious bend.
Range is hot.
John Browning must be spinning in his grave.
135-degree bent barrel in 3, 2, 1. I saw the box jump.
I guess that means it came out.
Whee! Oh, it went all the way through the gel.
Incredibly, the bullet still penetrates the ballistics gel with deadly force.
That's astonishing to me. I thought that by the time we got to 135, it was going to be going halfway through.
To remind you, with the straight barrel, the bullet was coming out at 1,200 feet per second. Now with the barrel bent at 135 degrees, the bullet's coming out at 1,050 feet per second.
Flushed with success, there's only one more turn to take.
This barrel is going all the way, 180 degrees. This gun that we're about to put together will shoot the guy who's holding it or someone standing behind him. Almost there. That's it.
That's pretty much it.
That's beautiful.
It's as bent out of shape as a barrel could possibly be, matching the gun in the comic myth.
It's kind of handy.
But will it be lethal?
This is it for the money. Here we go. The gun that shoots its owner, 180-degree turn in 3, 2, 1. Nothing jumped.
Is that myth busted?
Jamie, it went all the way through.
Wow. Who knew?
This is now my officially new favorite artifact we have ever made on the show.
That's excellent.
I was optimistic, but now I'm speechless. This is amazing.
Okay, so what's with the hardware?
Well, we have a new movie myth that has Mythbusters written all over it. And since this movie's come out, we have been inundated with requests to do it.
You're talking about the movie Wanted, right?
Exactly. And in that movie, a secret society of assassins shares the ability to curve a bullet.
That's right, just with a little bit of a flick of the gun, you can curve the bullet around an obstacle and hit your target.
Secret assassins, swerving bullets. They're not going to pass up the chance to test this.
Okay.
First, they fashion a trio of grimacing targets.
Bad guys are done.
Then head as far from civilization as they can get.
Because this involves swinging a live gun around, we need a lot of open space.
For our first test, we just need a control. Make sure we can all hit the target.
Let her have it, Carrie. Look at that, 4 in the black.
Straight shooting test passed with flying colors. Let the real fun begin.
You guys ready to start curving bullets?
Let's do it.
The goal is to somehow swing a bullet around the pig and hit the target.
So the question is, what technique do you use? Do you use the old top spin law, maybe a slider, or the old bowling shot? I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna see what feels comfortable.
First up is Grant,
Kind of like an aerobics workout.
who has spent hours honing the bullet-bending technique from the movie. Wasted hours, as it turns out.
Apparently, I don't have that ability.
Sadly, neither does Carrie.
I don't have superhuman strength, abilities, or shooting capabilities. What are you gonna do? I'm just a regular girl.
In fact, the only target under threat around here is passing bird life.
Have to look at the high speed, but I'm pretty sure I curved that one.
So with no bendy bullets and a 100% failure rate, it's time for a helping hand.
We're only human, and the characters in Wanted have superhuman abilities. So that's why we're resurrecting this.
A pneumatically powered arm-swinging robot of previous myths.
It can swing its arm at superhuman speeds, and what's more, it can fire the gun at precisely the moment we want it to.
All it needs is a little modification. Could this be the magic bullet they need? To test it out,
Going down?
they turn themselves in at the South San Francisco Police Department, where they hit the firing range.
We've set up 5 frames of paper down the gun range 8 feet apart. That way, when the gun goes off, the bullet will punch a hole in each one of those sheets of paper. Now, if those holes are not lining up,
Hey, it works!
then we're curving bullets.
A high-speed swinging robot gun could be a tad dangerous, so there's no room for fooling around.
I've got a 25-point checklist to make sure that we can load and discharge the weapon safely. Trigger cylinder is out. Check. Pressurizing the shoulder. Check.
Your fly's down.
Check.
Safety pin pulled, let's go.
Get out of here.
Test 1 sees the robot arm set to swing at regular human speed.
3, 2, 1.
All right, here's the laser.
The bullet didn't curve. We can see the laser down at this end.
This confirms that human speed is not going to curve a bullet. Now it's time to ramp it up and see if superhuman strength is gonna curve it.
We've calibrated the rig to twice what a normal human can do.
Loading the gun with the live round.
Twice as fast. We'll see how that goes.
All right, live round at superhuman speed.
You ready?
Let's get it on.
In 3, 2, 1.
Center shot. Let's check the alignment.
Okay. You see the laser?
I see the laser. It's a straight shot. There's no deviation whatsoever.
Superhuman strength, and we still have a straight shot.
This myth seems to have shot its boat. So is it time to call time?
This is more fake film physics.
Whoa, we can't go busting this myth yet. I mean, they did have a cool collection of customized guns.
And special engraved bullets.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Maybe it's not just the sidearm flick that gives us the curving bullet.
Exactly. Maybe it's a function of altering the bullets and guns themselves that's giving the bullets that curve.
First, Carrie modifies the barrel by removing the rifling, which should affect the ballistics.
That should do it. We have a smooth barrel.
Meanwhile, Tori's busy unbalancing bullets. Set 1 has vents cut into the tip. Set 2 has inconsistent weight. And Set 3 combines both modifications.
It is no longer balanced, and it's no longer aerodynamic.
But will the alterations cause a curve?
I gotta make some arrests.
To find out, it's back to the police firing range.
Calling all cars.
Can I get my bike back?
Sorry.
They break open their modified arsenal and carry out tests with a regular gun, but irregular bullets. All with disappointingly dead straight ballistic results.
That's a straight shot, no curving.
Next, they try Carrie's modified barrel.
Okay, groove bullet, D-rifle gun.
Whoa! Look at how wild that bullet went without the rifling.
The bullet wobbled.
Look at that.
It's a straight path.
But it didn't bend. And it's the same sad story for all of Tori's modified bullets.
Yeah, it's like going whoosh.
But still, it's not curving.
No.
It's proof, if proof were needed, that the momentum of a speeding bullet
Nah. Straight path.
means it will fly straight no matter its modifications.
So it's looking like no matter what we do, physics are working against us. We cannot curve a bullet.
Doesn't matter if the barrel's rifled or not. Doesn't matter if the bullets are altered or not.
So this one's busted.
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 Next, a classic straight from the physics textbooks.
This is a good one. Picture two bullets, each exactly the same distance from the ground, each released at the exact same second, except one bullet is dropped to the ground, the other is fired from a gun. The classic physics thought experiment states that both bullets will hit the ground at the same time.
Based on what theory?
Based on the theory that the bullet that's fired from the gun has no wings on it, no lift. Thus, gravity has the same effect on it as it does on the drop bullet, and thus, they hit the ground simultaneously.
Until now, it's been a purely theoretical conundrum confined to science exams. But nobody's ever seen it happen for real, because the two bullets would always land so far apart.
So what's the plan?
Well, we gotta go full scale with bullets, but dude, how difficult is that gonna be? I mean, for starters, I don't know how far a bullet fired level from a gun even goes.
Well, why don't we try a .45 caliber pistol? I mean, that has a large, slow-moving round.
And head out to the range and see where it hits the ground.
Exactly.
Perfect, let's do it.
They hit the gun range. Hands down, the best place to test the range of a gun. First, they rig the .45 caliber rigid and level, exactly 36 inches off the ground.
That's perfect.
Next, they check that the gun is aimed dead level, so the bullet flies with a flat trajectory.
Nice. The reason we've gone level is that gravity starts having an effect the moment it leaves the barrel. And that's what I'm interested in. How fast does it drop? How far does it go? Gun this hot.
To find out, they fire a full clip to see how far the bullets fall over 100, 200, and 300 feet.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
What we've got so far in terms of data is actually pretty freaking cool. This orange line represents the bullet at 100 feet. Very little amount of drop-off. 200 feet. A little more drop-off. 300 feet, that blue line, a lot more drop off.
A quick calculation shows a fired .45 caliber bullet should bite the dust around the 350 to 370 foot mark.
I expect to be able to see where they land by the marks they make on this white paper.
Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that looks like we might have hit it.
Their math is right on the money. 360 feet it is. It's vital data. That's the spot where they'll put the fired and falling bullets head to head.
I think we got what we came for.
But to carry out the test, they need laboratory conditions. The 480-foot-long Fort Mason Center on the bay should do nicely.
Ah, look at that. It's magnificent.
There's no wind to worry about affecting our bullet, and it's perfectly level.
First, they set up the gun at one end of the room. Adam checks it's exactly 36 inches from the ground and firing perfectly level.
1.
That gun's firing level.
Works for me.
Okay, we've got all the sensors we need and all the equipment we need to time the exact amount of time it takes a bullet both to be dropped from 36 inches and to be fired from 36 inches off the ground. But that's not good enough for us, for we have a bigger vision. We want to see that drop bullet hit the ground in the spot the fired bullet will be skipping off. That's what we're about to set up.
To pull that off, they'll drop the bullet 360 feet from the gun, the exact spot where the fired bullet should land.
This is my bullet drop rig, and the key component is this electromagnet right here, because it'll hold on to my bullet, and then on cue, it'll drop the bullet.
Sounds simple, but dropping and firing bullets at exactly the same time is anything but. So, over to Adam.
You see the little red light in the lower left part of the frame of this high-speed shot? That's an LED coupled to the electromagnet holding this bullet up in the air. Now, the moment that LED goes off, I know that the electromagnet is no longer powered and it's dropping the bullet. Now, see the tip of this gun? The moment I see a bullet peek out of that, that's when I want the electromagnet to go off.
Got all that? Now a check to see if the synchronizing system works.
Simultaneous firing and bullet drop test in 3, 2, 1.
Let's see how it looked on high speed.
It sits on that electromagnet for a while.
Yeah.
The gun and the timing LED went off together, but the drop bullet took its time to fall.
If you look at this high-speed shot of the bullet on the electromagnet, you'll notice it hangs out for 65 milliseconds. That tells me there's a lot of residual magnetism in the electromagnet itself, even though it's turned off, and it's no good as a mechanism for our drop. We've got to rebuild a mechanism, and we've got to rebuild it fast.
Cue brainstorm.
The most difficult thing about this whole experiment is getting the fired bullet and the dropped bullet airborne at the same time.
It gave us the problem that we currently have, which is that it's late.
The gun has to do its thing, the release mechanism has to do its thing, and we can't tolerate even a few milliseconds of variation in this mix to make the result that we want to see happen. It's hard.
But not impossible. And 4 hours later, they've got a solution.
Everything's hot. Let's do it.
A solenoid that's triggered by the trigger, releasing the bullet.
Bullet leaves the gun. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's 1/3 of a millisecond difference.
Wow.
That's freaking perfect. Let's go do this full scale.
Okay.
Fast forward 360 feet downrange.
Right about there. That's where they were landing out in the shooting range.
They roll out the white carpet to capture the result and move their bullet-dropping rig to the calculated drop zone.
So, simultaneous with the signal that sends that bullet from the barrel of that gun, an electronic signal sends this bullet falling from our little drop rig so that hopefully when it reaches this point, it will meet its friend, the fired bullet, and all of it will be captured on that high-speed camera right there.
Everything's set. Here goes.
Bullet dropped versus fired in 3, 2, 1.
That looked promising.
Wow.
The fired bullets bang on their calculated drop spot.
Can't get much closer than that. Ugh. I can't wait to see the high speed. So, dude, this bullet carved a streak right under the drop zone. I think this might be the shot we've been looking for.
Adam analyzes the high speed and crunches the numbers.
Dude, the difference is 39.6 milliseconds.
Which means it's less than the human eye can make out.
It's truly groundbreaking. A classic theoretical physics conundrum played out for real for the first time ever.
2 bullets, 1 dropped, 1 fired. Amazingly, they ended up in the same place at the same time.
Dude, this myth was every bit as much fun to test as I was hoping it would be. And I gotta say, even though the physics textbooks had it right, I love the fact that we did it full size with real unmodified bullets. I bet no one has ever tried that before.
I think you're right. They all hit the ground at the same time.
Yep. Gravity, man. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Confirmed.